Adobe Flash, and specifically Flash games, is something you definitely experience at least once if you were on the internet in the 2000s and 2010s. And if not, I find that hard to believe. They were everywhere online. There were even sites dedicated to strictly these games. There were lots of iconic and timeless classics that came out of this platform. And as with every easy-to-use game engine, there were knockoffs of popular games. And Angry Birds was no different. And as a child, I used to play a lot of these Angry Birds Flash knockoff games. So today I decided to revisit some of these and see if they still hold up. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy! Let's start with the one you might know, Cannon Birds. Now, there's actually 5 of these, but each is just like 30 levels and each one brings in new mechanics. So let's go through each one. In the first part, we meet the purple bird and the main antagonist, the cat alien, who looks strangely familiar, you know? The plot is that Purple's girlfriend is kidnapped by the cat alien and we have to save her. The gameplay is actually an unique spin on the regular Angry Birds formula. Instead of a shot, we have a cannon, like the name says, and we fire bursts at this green fuck. And yes, there is only one target per level in this game, but the twist is that if it leaves the screen, we lose. There's a few more mechanics in here, such as TNT, switching cannons by shooting at them, rolling stones, weight-depending platforms, and of course, blocks. And there are these cookies, which are bonus things to collect, I guess, if you would want to 100% this game, which I doubt. This game also has boss fights. Throughout the first game there are 3. First is just a big, I'll just call him foreman, who throws bombs at you, and you have to explode it in his hands to deal damage. The second shoots some stone balls which have to push back at him, and the third is the same as first but with 2 bombs at once now. The amount of birds you're allowed to shoot is pretty funny, cause you can just spam the birds into infinity. However, that will take away your stars, and also they cannot really fly away as there's a limit of 5 birds at once on the screen. Overall, the first game is actually fun. It has simple mechanics, a bunch of levels, and a very simple plot. It's really good. Now, let's jump into the second game in the series, Cannon Birds 2. Very creative name, I know. I don't have as much to talk about here as the first game, which obviously does not mean there isn't anything to discuss. In this game, there isn't really a plot, judging by the lack of cutscenes. The first major change you see are the boss levels, or rather, the lack of them. Why were they removed? I don't know, they were one of the most unique things about this game. I don't know, man. But hey, we got some new birds. Blue and magenta, I think. I don't know, I'm not good with colors. Blue can fit into small spaces, is fast, but pretty weak. Magenta is big, slow and strong. Some of the new mechanics are pushable blocks, pushing platforms that you move by shooting in them. They kinda work like a swing. Oh yeah, and the new cold environment. The last thing worth pointing out is how useless the classic purple bird is in here. He is way slower and weaker than the first game, and there's literally no reason to use him at all in this game. Like, look at this. Other than the new birds, it's an overall downgrade to the first one. Maybe the third game will be better. Oh boy, was I wrong. This game, no joke, adds only new birds and 1 block that's added only for one of the birds. Here we get this red environment, again no plot, and these 2 guys, I'll call them Chuck and Bomb, because I ain't calling them yellow and black. That's kinda stupid. Chuck sticks to surfaces with his beak and other birds to himself, which is honestly such a unique and creative idea for a bird. And then we have Bomb, and you probably already know what he does. And then there's the broken stone block, which can only be destroyed by Bomb. And that's it. Other than that, it's just more levels. I expected new types of blocks, platforms, new enemies maybe, no. That's it. Maybe the next try will be better because this one is disappointing as hell. And it is! Cannon Birds 4 brings 3, but very solid mechanics. First, pass through blocks. Yeah, blocks that you can shoot birds through. Isn't that awesome? Second, there's magnets, pushing and pulling ones. I think you know what that does. And lastly, there are these electric thingies that actually kill our birds and the enemy too. Ouch! This game was such a take of fresh air after the previous two, which were lackluster of new features. This series is taking up long enough, so let's quickly do the last game. And the last game is Cannon Bird Space. This is probably the best game in the series. It has gravity, multiple pigs, pig shields, electric balls that you can push, portals, unpushable blocks, automatically moving cannons. This game brought so much to the table here. So many fresh mechanics, no new birds sadly, and no new quote-unquote cats, but there are multiple now, so good enough. Overall, I think this might be one of the best knockoff game series I've played. It's actually trying to do something on its own and be unique and original, but it is ripping off some renders like straight from Angry Birds. So this game gets a Yoda out of orange juice, I don't know. The next game we will look at today is called Angry Birds Halloween HD. So yeah, there was a bunch of Angry Birds remakes done in Flash, so I thought it would be fun to look at few and see how well they hold up to the original. Okay, there's a whole lot of these, so I picked like 7 of them and I will rush through them. Halloween Remake. It's pretty decent, but has less frames than my old PC on Minecraft RTX, so no thank you. Horrible. And impossible to beat. It looks like it's a DS port, which is nice. Bad. I can't even shoot! Physics are horrible and the menu and lack of sound doesn't help either. It's a perfect port of the original. Love it. Very nice pixel remake, works just how I'd imagine it to be on an old console. Before we move on to the final game, let's mention a few more or less interesting pieces that weren't interesting enough or didn't have enough content to be on the main list. Angry Birds Pigs Out is some logic-based game where you have red and minion pigs in different shapes and some blocks that you can cut. The goal is to push off pigs and make red stay in one place. Pretty fun, but not enough to be on this list. Angry Birds Bomb. Its gameplay is simple. You have a build, you have a few bombs, you place them and then press the TNT to explode them. And sometimes there's a golden egg which you have to not push off. There are actually 2 games, the second one is just a harder pack of levels. Overall not too special, but a childhood gem. Angry Birds Casino. The name explains it. This is more of a joke entry, honestly. This little car game, it's very simple. You drive and collect fuel to not run out before the finish line. So, yeah. Angry Birds PvZ. Pretty nice, but get boring very quickly. The point is that you click and P-Shooter shoots birds and you control where he is with your mouse. Yeah, no, that's boring. Whatever this is, you have a few birds that you have to put onto the ship so the pigs don't destroy it. You got a rocket launching Chuck, pistol shooting Red, and repairing Matilda. Just weird. The last game I wanted to touch on is Angry Birds Cannon. Heh, going full circle, from cannon to cannon. This game is pretty simple. You have a bunch of pigs and you're supposed to shoot birds out of this circle. But to not have it easy, there's a set amount of points you need to beat the level, and each bird uses a bit of that. The better the bird, the more points it takes away. You can choose between one of 5 birds: Red, Chuck, Blue, Hull and Matilda, with each one being stronger than the last one. With time, the levels get more and more tricky, and I actually got stuck on some. With time, you also get introduced to the only mechanic that is done later on in the game. The Big Pig. It's just a big pig. Overall, it's decent fun, it has 2 special levels, but I am not 3-starring this game. No way. The second game is miles better. You actually have to unlock birds this time, which you do by collecting stars. The pigs have to be popped, not pushed away this time, though both methods still work. From other things, there are breakable blocks, which is awesome, and bombs, which explode a bit after you hit them. The levels in this one are way harder, and I couldn't actually beat all of them this time. This stupid fucking level just won't let me, but overall pretty dang awesome. The last game is a fall from grace in every way. Even bigger fall than my views on YouTube. The physics here got completely fucked. Like, how do you think Red will go here? Time's up. You're wrong. Like, why? It was good before, and they fucked it up completely. In fact, this game is so bad I rage quit while recording footage. Fuck this game. Now you don't have any more footage because of it. Though it had some cool concepts, but overall, this is probably the worst and most annoying game I've ever played. Fuck this game. This video was one hell of a ride, wasn't it? It was very nice coming back to my childhood once again and playing some of these. It sure is a shame that Flash got shut down 3 years ago. Time sure goes fast. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Are there any more Angry Birds Flash games that you would want me to play? If so, let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe as I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers before Christmas. And bye!